Hi. So walking is important in it helps with cognitive skills and it helps with skin. So it helps with like my skin's really pigmented now. Walking used to even out my skin tone. And my videos have gotten a lot worse since I've stopped walking. I was looking at the YouTube sphere and I noticed someone mentioning executive dysfunction. So I got a book from the library. It's from 2010. Um, I used to get a lot of books back in the day, but I've noticed from people who've took psychology programs in universities and stuff, the more they read about everything that's wrong with someone, the more they think that they have everything that's wrong with what they're reading. So from executive dysfunction, what I got was setting and appreciating long-term goals, planning, pacing out work assignments, completing them on time or just getting started, using feedback to adjust to behavioral, like using feedback to adjust behavior, right? This is from a teaching perspective. Um, executing and completing projects, regulating emotional responses, sequencing, so planning steps in order. And I had a problem when I first stopped walking, which was telling the story in chronological order, which I still think I do have. Um, a lot of this stuff, it's from 2010, right? And so, nowadays I think people are more aware, and the fact that this kid's holding a white flag is really annoying. But they executive dysfunction kind of goes through every single disorder that there is. Uh, but simple answer for me is just walking because it's worked in the past before, right? I just stopped because I got lazy and I just didn't give a shit after a while. I just didn't care. Sorry for swearing. But, um, it's funny to read the same material over and over again and not retain anything. Or, having executive dysfunctions and reading a book like this. So, from my memory, frontal lobes, and that is something that I'm going to mispronounce, but I've read 20 zillion times, called the Bastille Ganglia. I don't remember, so, and I remember the amygdala too, right? So I studied a lot of like fight, flight, freeze, or fawn in general, and I used to look into PTSD, which I don't have. But you could, a lot of those things, bits and parts of it, you can relate to and stuff, right? But I've given up on long-term planning. Like I used to follow two mentors starting from 2015 and onwards. One was John Affleck's, who's actually updated his material, or his content and stuff. And then there's Brendan Bouchard, who went like a different way and stuff. But they talk about long-term planning in general. And for me, having the memory of literally tomorrow, I can't do that. So I need to entrust that to someone I trust, right? So, um, that's what I noticed, right? So, like I've given up doing it on my own. I remember when I worked at that cooperative for students and stuff. They noticed that I did the same thing every day, which is what like basically figure out the next day, right? So I didn't go anywhere. I was like a guinea pig on a treadmill, right? So like I really need other people to figure out the long-term stuff for me, like that's just how I work, right? So um attention, getting better at that. Memory, I'm not even trying. And I've noticed in the past couple of months I have to remember because then you'll offend people and stuff, right? So I still am just trying to think of myself at this point. Motor skills, someone I knew growing up was doing a Bollywood class. She looks exactly the same as she looks like she's in her 20s and she's 50. I don't know how she does it in general, right? Might have said the wrong thing, but her Bollywood dancing is like doing this for 15 minutes, which I couldn't even do, right? So, really excellent person and stuff, right? And, their event went well. But emotional control or regulation is something I really got to work on. A lot of people swear by meditation. It's just sitting there, and I have to do something, right? So walking helps, and I'm trying to look into other forms. I'm trying to look into other forms as well, right? I don't know if I have the time to in general, right? But trying to look into other forms. motor skills, yeah, the Bollywood dancing, like I felt so insecure. I couldn't, the timing and everything, like, you know, but they were really nice people and stuff. They were really, really nice people and stuff, really nice people. Um, but yeah, like, for me specifically, it just comes down to the walking and getting started. Um, Using feedback and adjusting behavior, too much time by myself and looking at algorithms, uh, pacing your assignments. So there's a lot of people when they were in high school did everything last minute, right? Not the best way to go through things, right? Some people finished a week ahead of time and stuff and asked for extra homework and stuff, but appreciating long-term goals, I have tried since I was 35. I can't do it, right? So literally to save time in general and to be more productive, give the long-term planning to someone who can do long-term planning, right? And again, sequencing, I don't know if I repeated myself. Some people don't think A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They can't think in chronological order, right? They think A, B, C, D, 2, 3, 4, 5, Z, Z, T to the power of 14th, right? So as long as you get the task done within the amount of time that they tell you to get the task done, that's all you really need to do, right? With me, deadlines has always been a problem, but I've never been forced to do something, right? Or, I never push myself to do a deadline, right? And usually it's just the best that I can do, right? It's the best that I can do, right? So I know that doesn't sound great in general, but I'm working on it and stuff. But yeah, walking helps with a lot of this stuff in general. It helps with a lot of this stuff, right? So and not trying to bond over stuff that will just make it worse. There's that phrase that what you focus on grows, right? So, don't try to bond over people with things that you can improve on, right? So that I think is important as well, right? So I think that's it. And yeah, like if you're looking for someone, everyone is different and stuff, and you appreciate people for educating other people, but like I am not doing this for any professional reason, right? So just as a response, right? So walking is important and stuff. Success is freedom, I think success is freedom, which I don't think anyone has. But monetarily I am not successful whatsoever. um Freedom, I've been told, yes, but monetarily not at all, or I could, I don't want to get into that, right? But I think that's all I have. Thank you for your time.